left with a 3rd down and 9. South takes their final timeout to stop the clock. 49 seconds left, 28-6. Right now, South has the lead. Chris, anything really quick that you wanted to share?
Chucky Doak, they've extended their lead over Sullivan North. This one's a surpriser. It's 21-0 right now.
South trying to, or North trying to.
Well, they may have spotted Chucky Doak too many this time. Over in Virginia, Honaker, they're up 28-0 now over Twin Valley, and Thomas Walker's 14-6 over Castlewood.
All right, so with that, Reed comes up. He's got 2 backs. Tomlinson behind him, and he's going to give it to Blanton, who comes around on the side, and he's going to get up to about the 28-yard line, and that's about it. So it's going to be 4th down and 5 for Gate City as the clock runs 35-34 as it's going to be 4th down and 4. They're looking to run the clock. Looks like there's about a second difference between the play clock and
Gate City really needed to get something going there. A quick score and then getting the ball back after halftime, that could have been huge.
As Gate City will run one more play as Luke Reed's got it and he's going to run out of bounds, run the clock out, and we're going to halftime. Do see somebody on the sideline they're working with for a knee or a leg. I can't make out the number. Which number? Michael Calhoun. What a loss that would be, Chris.
Let's see how it looks like he's getting up and he's walking off to the locker room.
A little bit gingerly, so we'll have to get an update on Calhoun's status as he's trying to jog it, but it's not been a good night right now for Gate City. 3 turnovers, 4 penalties has been their undoing. It's 28-6 as we go to the half. So we're here at the campus halftime show, again here live from Legion Field. We'll take a quick break, come back, get you up to date on all the scores, everything going around the region. So we appreciate you listening and staying with us. Again, you're listening to the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio.
You are listening to the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio.
Whether you're headed out to the game or if you're looking for something great to eat, stop by and see your friends at the Campus Drive-In just down the road from Gate City High School on Kane Street. They have a tremendous selection of breakfast, lunch, and dinner items, and they're open 7 days a week. Campus Drive-In has supported Blue Devil Sports for over 60 years, and once again, they are the proud sponsors of our halftime show here on Gate City Sports Radio. Please follow them on Facebook and place your call-in orders by dialing 276-386-3702. Again, that's 276-386-3702. 2 out of every 3 people will need an assisted living community at some point in their life. We here at Elmcroft of Johnson City want to help to guide you through the process and decisions and believe in you as a person, not as a number. If you do have questions and want to be treated with the value you deserve, we invite you to call or come to our location for a free, no-obligation tour and meal. To schedule a tour, call us today at 423-282-0280. That's 423-282-0280. We are located at 406 East Mountain View Road in Johnson City. You can check us out on the web at elmcroft.com. Elmcroft of Johnson City is an Eclipse senior living community. With over 100 offices throughout Virginia, you can count on your local Virginia Farm Bureau insurance agents to be there when you need them most. Whether you find yourself in a fender bender, insuring your first home, or with a new addition to the family, our agents are ready to help you through every stage of life. Connect with your local agents, Whitney McConnell, Richard Helms, and David Weddick here in Scott County at 386-7411 or online at vafb.com. Coverage provided by Virginia Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company and their affiliates.
You are listening to the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio.
Will perform a portion of their
And we're back here live from the Campus Drive-In halftime show at Legion Field, covering our Gate City Blue Devils. Again, Chris, the first half was not was probably in sections the worst half. Of course, I guess the turnovers. I mean, 3 turnovers, the penalties. You can't do that against a decent team or a good team or a great team, and right now they've made us pay. It's 28-6.
Well, South has scored 14 points off of these 3 Gate City turnovers. When you look at Gate City's numbers, they should be leading this game. I have Jenkins right now unofficially with 55 yards rushing, Mack with 14, Calhoun with 85, Blanton with 7, Reed with 10, Roten with 8, and Tomlinson with 5. Those numbers should be good enough to have a lead at halftime.
Well, and we were able to drive the football. Again, those long drives, we got down to the 30, fumble. Got down to the 30 again, fumble. We ate up a lot of clock. Of course, to South's credit, big playability. I mean, take us through the scoring. It wasn't pretty for Gate City.
Well, South scored first at 11:41 in the first quarter, a 68-yard run by Reed. Gate City answered at 6:02 in the first. We had a 3-yard run by Roten. And then South answered right back about a minute later, 4:59 to go, a 58-yard run by Reed. Then a little bit later, Bergeron for South. After that interception, he had a 3-yard run at 4:05 in the first quarter. And then at 1:44 in the second quarter, Reed again with a 51-yard run, which is his shortest touchdown run of the day, went in to put South at 28.
We were able to stop them a couple of times and, able to sort of frustrate them a little bit. And we started to wear down on them because, again, some of those big linemen, they started to sub in the second quarter. They did most of their damage in that first quarter because it's 21-6 when we took that break. But
Well, Gate City Sullivan South has not shown the ability to put together a sustained drive yet tonight. Mm-hmm. Their 3 touchdowns that they've had have come from 68, 58, and 51 yards. And then, of course, you had the 3-yard run, but that was off an interception at the 8-yard line.
Right.
So South has not been able to move the ball against Gate City other than the huge plays.
So, however you dial it up, it's a 28-6 lead for South. Gate City will get the football to start the second half. How imperative will it be for them to score, to get something positive going, to be able to turn the tide whatsoever?
Well, I don't think Gate City needs to change their game plan.
No.
They are moving the ball. They're running it down South's throat. They've just got to quit handing the ball right back over to them.
And we'll have to see the status of Michael Calhoun. They were working with him on the side, looking at a knee there towards the end of the first half. Hopefully he's okay and can return. But again, it's a 28-6 lead at halftime here. The Campus Drive-In halftime show on the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio. So we'll take a quick break, come back. We'll have our This Day in Sports History, and we'll get you around the rest of the region with some of the scores coming in. So again, you're listening to the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio.
You are listening to the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio.
Proudly representing Southwest Virginia in the House of Delegates for the last 24 years, Terry Kilgore continues to strive and work hard for others. Just like our Gate City Blue Devils proudly represents our school, our town, and community. Delegate Kilgore, a proud Gate City alumni himself, wants to thank the residents of the 1st District for their trust and support over the years as he's continued to voice our needs and concerns in Richmond to make our region a tremendous place to live and work. And on behalf of Delegate Kilgore and his family and staff, they say, go Big Blue!
This is Logan Tomlinson of the Gate City football team, and you're listening to the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio.
Back here live from Legion Field, the Gate City Band on the field. And they do a tremendous job. Of course, homecoming coming up in 3 weeks. Of course, they'll have the crowning of the queen and things like that. They put so much work and effort. I know the band doesn't get the recognition they always deserve. And again, they do a great job here at Gate City. So about 13 minutes left here at halftime. Chris, the people have asked, you have delivered. It is this day in sports history.
Well, Joe, today is quite the popular day in sports history. It was on this day, September 13th, in 1883, Hugh Daly, a one-armed pitcher for Cleveland, tosses a 1-0 no-hitter against Philadelphia.
My Phillies. can't catch
I'm not
a break.
sure how he handled line drives coming back to him. That's impressive.
If you can throw enough off speeds, you've done well.
In 1909, Ty Cobb clinched the American League home run title with his 9th home run of the season, and they were all inside the Parkers.
Wow.
Yeah. Of course, if Ty Cobb comes sliding in at you, you going to tag him?
Knock those cleats up and everything. So,
in 1953, pitcher Bob Trice becomes the first African-American player for the Philadelphia Athletics.
there we go.
In 1958, my Atlanta Braves' Warren Spahn is the first lefty to win 20 or more games 9 times. 1965, Willie Mays, perhaps you've heard of him, hits his 500th home run as the Giants win their 11th straight game.
Was he a pitcher?
Maybe so.
Not.
He's a pretty decent outfielder.
Yes, indeed.
1969, the Baltimore Orioles win the earliest American League Eastern Division title. That may be their last American League title that they've won. Also in 1969, Bobby Bonds is baseball's 4th 30-home run, 30-steals player. I wonder if he was on the steroids. But anyway, 1974, your Phillies, I put this in for you, set a National League record. They used 27 players in a game.
And 2 fans.
And St. Louis Cardinals used 24, and the Phillies won 7-3 in 17 innings.
There we go.
1981, the Atlanta Falcons, they tied an NFL record of 31 straight points in the 4th quarter. And they did that against Green Bay. 1983, Ricky Henderson, 3rd straight 100 stolen base season. Probably the greatest there ever was, ever will be at stolen bases.
And he had leadoff power, too.
Yes, that's true. 1988, never a big fan of his, but you got to admire what he did. John Elway's number 7 jersey was retired by the Broncos. Of course, I do want to point out Elway's big Super Bowl loss to Doug Williams and the Washington Redskins in 1987, I believe that was. In 2018, Amazon Live streams Thursday Night Football for the first time. Cincinnati beat Baltimore 34-23. But what was important about this, I think, it was the first all-female broadcast booth in NFL history. Andrea Kramer called the game, and Hannah Storm was helping her out. So I'm going to start calling you Andrea, and you can call me Hannah.
Well, actually, she goes by Andrea, but that's okay. So, yeah, don't call me Andrea. Don't call me Shirley. So, all righty, we'll appreciate that, Chris. All right, we're under 10 minutes left here of the campus halftime show on the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll get you up and around the region, let you know what's going on. Again, we were delayed 30 minutes in the first quarter. We've got a couple other games that are being delayed as well. So it's going to probably be a long night of scores and highlights, but we'll be right here with you. So, again, sit back and relax. You're listening to the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio.
Are you tired of the negative political rhetoric in the news today? Are you ready for someone who is strong in faith and ready for the challenge to lead? We finally have someone who will put people over politics. Rex Carter is your choice for Washington County Sheriff. He will bring a fresh perspective to the office of sheriff by putting people first. If you want to have a law enforcement agency led by integrity and character, then let's hear your voice for the right choice of Rex Carter for Washington County Sheriff. To learn more, go to rexcarterforsheriff.com. Authorized and paid for by Rex Carter for Sheriff Campaign.
You are listening to the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio.
Is school safety important to you? Is improving the overall protection for our county something that you want? Would you like to see better communication between a well-trained sheriff's office and the community? If your answer is yes, then you need to support Jeff Eads for Scott County Sheriff. Serving us for over 30 years in law enforcement, Jeff has the needed experience and insight to make each